Could HPC thrive without collaboration? We'll discuss that next. Welcome to SC21 TV. I'm your host, Charla Bokikio. We are live at the SC21 TV news desk, meeting leaders in the world of HP computing. With me now is Larrie Carr with the CXL Consortium. How are you doing, Larrie?
I'm doing good, thanks.
If I could get out the words right, then we'd be great. CXL.
Compute Express Link.
Tell me about CXL and what you do there.
So I'm currently one of the board members for the CXL Consortium. And about 2 years ago, a new standard was formed called CXL that created a new interface on processors. And through this interface, we can bring new forms of memory, new ways of connecting, acceleration engines to the computer, and basically improve the efficiency of how we do compute and memory within, leading edge systems.
Interesting. How long have you been involved with the consortium?
The consortium's been active for about 3 years, generating standards. I've been active since the beginning. The board has all the major players within the compute, as well as memory and accelerators. And I'm one of the few SoCs or silicon providers on the board. It's been very interesting ride, because now people are now innovating with this new standard to really, look at improving the efficiency of compute.
Okay. So you are, the CXL Consortium, this is their first year at SC.
Yes.
But not your first year.
Not my first year. My previous employers have been here for storage, as well as some of the other projects they work for. I've just joined Rambus just recently. They've announced CXL product line. The CXL Consortium is here for the first time because we actually have proof of concepts physically in the booth right now that shows some of the advantages and the capabilities of the technology. So last year we had a standard. The CXL 2.0 standard was released. And you're actually now starting to see systems sort of standing up, operating, with FPGAs and, various other sort of cobbled together systems, working towards products coming out next year.
So why did the consortium decide to be an exhibitor this year at SC? What was the impetus for that?
We look at the supercompute as an area where they can really use the technology, right? If you look, things like AI, machine learning, right now they have a very tough time communicating with the processor through a fairly, peripheral type bus. CXL can bring acceleration as well as memory to appear within the processor. So if you look at the cores and the accelerators, they actually can now exchange information, the data, much more efficiently. And then you can bring in more memory bandwidth as well as more capacity through this interface to solve these problems.
Okay. So so far, I imagine that you're having some good success at the booth. I mean, you've got some traffic going over there.
Yeah, it's actually been extremely impressive, the number of people that have been coming through. It's actually, as we've been talking to people, it's gotten quite tight within that booth. We have about, 10 exhibits right now. Some are virtual, some are literally the systems there with actual processors with CXL interfaces talking to, again, hardware for memory expansion and acceleration. We also have, one of the first CXL testers out there. So, as people stand up these infrastructures, they actually have test equipment they can hook up and see that the protocol is operating correctly. So it's been a lot of progress over the last year.
So it sounds like if people haven't stopped by your booth, they should.
They should. Yeah.
Okay. So given the current projects with the CXL Consortium, what are you looking forward to as far as next year and beyond?
I think these proof of concepts that you see now in the lab, they're going to start moving towards a productization cycle where, they'll start becoming, simplified, turned into physical ASICs. Modules will be built, and you'll start seeing stuff appear in the market, sort of in the 2023, 2024 timeframe, and then also next year you'll start to see more of the software infrastructure being demonstrated. There is quite a bit of software right now within the booth, but final productization will happen over the next year or so.
Great. So a lot of good stuff on the horizon. Are you planning on attending next year's conference with the consortium? Yes.
The CXL Consortium will probably be here every year for a long time to come.
Great.
I think.
Excellent. Did you attend last year's virtual conference?
Yes, I did attend. There was some speaking roles as well, as we did talk about our announcement. CXL 2.0 was announced last November, sort of in the same supercompute timeframe. So yeah, there was some virtual presentations, but it was very much about the standard, not necessarily what we have today.
Gotcha.
Which is hardware.
So if attendees are on the fence about whether to attend next year's conference in person or virtually, what would you tell them?
I've been very impressed with the physical presence here. It's well attended. There's good crowds here, and I'm glad I came. Actually, it's the first time I've actually come from Canada down to the U.S. since COVID started, and it's been relatively straightforward. So
it kind of feels like things are getting back to normal a little bit, huh?
Yep.
That's a comforting thing. And we'll see where we are next year, I suppose, with all of this. Any highlights that you, on a personal level, are looking forward to at the conference for the rest of the week? Anything that you want to be able to see or anyone to talk to?
No, I've actually managed to get face-to-face time with some of the industry leaders that did come. It's been reassuring, actually, because as a hardware architect, I've been trying to do my job virtually, and it's been very difficult. So there have been conversations, discussions with some of the other architects here that definitely have been very good.
Excellent. So you've already achieved some of those highlights of your week.
No.
So the rest is just gravy, whatever happens the next couple of days. Is there anything else that you wanted us to know about the CXL Consortium, or that you want our social media viewers to know that might not understand? We have a lot of training on the website. So if you want to understand how what CXL could be applied for, how the protocol works, see how we're extending processing and acceleration, go to our website. The training materials are there for all versions. We've spent a lot of effort producing that training, and it's all open. So the standard is there. Excellent.
And that's the benefit of an open standard.
Well, hopefully some of the people watching the live streams are going to be able to go to those to the website and get some more information. So a personal question, what did you want to be when you grew up?
An engineer. It was a simple one.
All your life?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I was.
Goal achieved.
Goal achieved. Yes.
Just check that one off.
I didn't know what it was called, right?
Right.
So sort of like grade 11 was like, who works with computers? It was like engineers. I was like, okay. So
that's fantastic.
It's been a long career so far.
Excellent. All right. Well, it was a pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you.
And I hope you enjoy the rest of your week.
Definitely.
And hopefully we'll see you next year in Dallas.
Okay.
If you decide to come back to the U.S.
I like Dallas.
Okay. For those of you watching, stay tuned for the latest in high-performance computing from SC21 TV. Make sure to like us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and please plan to attend the SC22 in person in Dallas next November. I'm Charla Bokikio.